Senator Hanson.
Thank you very much. My question is to the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Senator Wong. Considering Gaza has been effectively controlled by a genocidal terrorist group which invaded Israel and murdered more than 1,200 innocent people last year, how is Australia's support for Palestine's membership of the United Nations compatible with Article 2, Part 3 of the United Nations Charter that states all members shall settle their international disputes by peaceful means in such a manner that international peace and security and justice are not endangered, and Part 4, all members shall refrain in their international relations from the threat or use of force against the territorial integrity or political independence of any state. So please explain.
Thank you, Senator Hanson. Minister Wong.
Thank you, President. I thank Senator Hanson for the question, and I would make the point to her first that all of us unequivocally, well, certainly the government, unequivocally condemns the actions of Hamas. I have said publicly on many occasions, Hamas is a terrorist group. Hamas is dedicated to the destruction of the State of Israel and to the destruction of the Jewish people. Hamas has no place in the future governance of a Palestinian state, and we have called consistently for Hamas to release hostages. The resolution that you are referencing was a resolution supported by some 143 countries, which was fundamentally about how the world was trying to overcome the cycle of violence in the Middle East and create momentum for a two-state solution. I want to make this very clear, Senator Hanson. Hamas does not support a two-state solution. Hamas supports the destruction of the State of Israel. That is clear. So a support for a two-state solution, and people might have different views about whether we should have, but it is wrong to say that's voting for a resolution that supports a two-state solution is somehow supportive of Hamas. It is contrary to their views. And I believe, after having visited the Middle East and engaging both with Israelis and Arab leaders, that the only pathway to security for Israel, long-term security for the State of Israel, as well as for the Palestinian people, the only path ultimately to ending the cycle of violence which has dogged so much of our lives and has worsened post the atrocities of October 7th and the events since then, is to work towards that two-state solution. And that is the spirit in which we supported a resolution which extended more rights as an observer.
The time for answering has expired. Senator Hanson, first supplementary.
Sorry, Minister, you didn't answer the question at all and you avoided it. If this so-called Palestinian state chooses a Hamas terrorist to represent it at the UN, will your government continue to support its membership?
Thank you, Senator Hanson. Minister Wong.
First, if I may, Senator Hanson, the resolution extended additional rights as an observer. Membership of the United Nations General Assembly can only be granted by the UN Security Council, and the resolution was negotiated through the week to reflect those provisions of the UN Charter, which is the power of the UN Security Council to grant membership. So what we did support was additional rights. In relation to the question about who represents the Palestinian mission, it is the Palestinian Authority at the United Nations.
Thank you, Minister. Senator Hanson, second supplementary.
Again, Minister, you never even touched on answering my question at all. We'll try for a third one. An editorial in the Australian newspaper 2 days ago reported Hamas has welcomed the resolution that your government supported in the UN last week. Would you please explain to the Australian people why your government has done the bidding of terrorists who have committed the greatest atrocity against Jewish people since the Holocaust?
Thank you, Senator Hanson. Minister Wong.
I don't agree with your assertions, Senator Hanson, and I don't propose to repeat them, but I don't agree with them. I've explained to you that a vote for two states is not a vote for Hamas. In fact, it is precisely the opposite of what Hamas wants. And I would make the point, that they have made clear their intent What we have to do as an international community is to look at how we might bring momentum to security for both Israelis and Palestinians. That is what we are doing. And I appreciate you don't agree with it, Senator Hanson, but that is our motivation. And I think it is wrong to make the assertions that you're making about why we took that decision and why we voted as we did. And as I've said publicly, I would make the point that our special strategic partner, Japan, that the Republic of Korea, that New Zealand all took the same decision.